Your rich girlfriend just wanted to see how cheap you were. She wouldn't spend a single penny on you. And not only that, she even squandered your grandma's life savings. You were just thinking you'd finally be able to pay for her surgery. But then the hospital clerk hands you your card back and says, "Sorry, your card doesn't have enough funds." You say, "What did you say?" The clerk patiently replies, "You don't have enough money on your card." You stand there, shocked. You can't understand how this happened so suddenly. After a while, you immediately call your girlfriend. You say, "Vanessa, I need an answer. Did you use my account money?" There's silence for a few seconds. Then Vanessa says, "Yesterday, I saw a bag I really liked. I couldn't help myself." Ethan, you won't be angry with me, will you? As soon as you find out Vanessa has spent all the money, only one thing comes to your mind. The money is gone, grandma's surgery can't be done. I'm about to lose my last family member. Hearing your silence, Vanessa casually says, "Ethan, I know I should have told you earlier. I made a mistake, but now the money is already spent. You won't blame me, right? I didn't have that much money. When I earn more." But before Vanessa can finish her sentence, you hang up. You stand frozen in front of the hospital's payment window, feeling nothing inside you. Then your phone rings again. You pick up the phone and see a message from an unknown number. The message says, "A surprise is waiting for you in Suite 302 of the Vesper Lounge." You don't understand anything, but you feel something strange inside you. So you immediately hail a cab and head outside. Then the scene shifts. Elsewhere, Vanessa is bragging to her friends about her little test. A year ago, Vanessa had told her friends that she had a boyfriend. But as soon as they found out she was broke, everyone's expressions changed. All of Vanessa's friends were rich and powerful. They never lacked men to pursue them. So, one of their friends suggested that Vanessa should test you. Vanessa flatly refused. Initially, she said, "You're not some gold-digging loser." But then someone suggested, "Vanessa, pretend to be a poor student with a struggling family background. That will reveal how he treats you." After that day, Vanessa continued to act like a poor student for an entire year. But you never looked down on her because of her poverty. In fact, it was quite the opposite. As soon as you learned that Vanessa came from a poor family, you started treating her even better. You yourself didn't afford good food or clothes, but you always gave Vanessa the best you could afford. Vanessa watched all this. Now your first anniversary was approaching. Vanessa had planned to tell you the whole truth the next day. But before that, Derek, who had always liked Vanessa, suggested taking a final test, and that's why Vanessa spent all the money in your bank account. Drink glasses were clinking together. Just then, the door to Suite 302 slowly opened. Everyone immediately turned to look. A cylindrical figure stood in the doorway. As Vanessa caught sight of you, she immediately stood up from the couch and hurried towards the door. Panic and confusion were clearly visible on her face. She has absolutely no idea why you're suddenly here. Vanessa asks, "Ethan, what are you doing here?" Vanessa instinctively tries to take your hand, but you pull it back. Vanessa's heart sinks. Desperate, she grabs your hand again and says, "Ethan, this isn't what you think. Please, let me explain." You look at your girlfriend. Then a gentle smile appears on your face. You say, "Vanessa, let's break up." Vanessa freezes in place. Then she immediately shakes her head and says, "No, no, no, I won't break up with you. Ethan, I can explain. I really can." You remove her fingers from your hand one by one. Your voice is gentle, but your words are firm. You say, "I mean it. Vanessa, let go of my hand." Then you look at her and say, "I just have one request. Give me my money back." She says, "Ethan, please don't break up with me." You say, "Okay, then give me 10,000 right now. I only need 100,000. Vanessa's face turns worried. She presses her lips and hesitates for a while. Then she says, "Ethan, can you wait one more day? Tomorrow I will give you all the money you need. Just not today, please." You look at her with disappointment. Your lips move twice. After a long silence, you say in a weak voice, "Vanessa, I only need the money in my account. Give it back to me." Now our paths are different. Vanessa still tries to stop you. But then your phone rings. Your eyes widen at the caller ID. You pick up the call without hesitation. Your face turns pale at what's being said. You immediately start to walk away, but Vanessa grabs your wrist. Vanessa says, "Ethan Hayes, I'm not breaking up with you." You say, "Vanessa, let go of my hand." She says, "No, I won't break up with you. Wait until tomorrow. I'll give you everything you want." You turn back and look at her. Then you slap her hard. You say, "Vanessa, it's over for us forever." You release her hand and walk away without a backward glance. You head outside. The call you received was from the hospital. The doctor said Grandma's condition had worsened. He told you to get to the hospital immediately. Hearing this news, your whole world is shaken. You need to get to the hospital at any cost. But even after waiting for more than 10 minutes, not a single cab arrives. Then, in the distance, you see a cab slowly approaching you. Desperate, you run out into the middle of the road to try to stop the car. Luckily, the driver reacts in time. The cab stops just a few feet away. Unmindful of the danger, you immediately run to the car and knock on the driver's window. The driver asks, "Hey, are you okay?" You say, "I'm fine, so please. Can you take me to the hospital?" The driver awkwardly looks towards the back seat. A cold and elegant woman is sitting there. You realize she's the real owner. So, you turn to her for help. You say, "Miss, can you give me a ride? My grandmother is dying. I need to get to the hospital. Please let me in." The driver immediately signals you to take the front seat. But then the woman in the back seat says back. The driver freezes. Then he quickly gets out of the car and opens the rear door. You don't even have time to think about where to sit. You immediately get inside. As soon as you sit, you thank the woman. "Thank you." A moment later, the car arrives outside the hospital. You thank Chloe and get out of the car. Then you run straight to the operating room. Grandma has already been taken in for surgery. You've barely arrived at the hospital when a nurse quickly comes out and asks you to pay. You clutch the bill tightly in your hand. Your fingertips turn white. But the total value of everything you had was less than 500. Then Chloe says again, "Frank, pay the bill." Frank immediately steps forward and takes the bill from your hand. Then he runs to the payment window. You look at Chloe. Your eyes are red. You say, "Thank you, really thank you." Chloe's expression doesn't change, but she takes a clean handkerchief from her pocket and offers it to you. She says, "Don't mention it." You take it. Your throat hurts. All the pain you've been holding inside for so long comes pouring out at the sight of a stranger's kindness. Tears well up in your eyes and fall directly onto the floor. Chloe keeps looking at you, but doesn't have the courage to say anything. She just stands there silently. A moment later, Frank returns and says to you, "Son, don't cry. The bill's paid. Your grandma will be fine." 2 hours later, the operating room door finally opens. The doctor comes out, and you immediately run to him. You ask urgently, "Doctor, how is my grandma?" The doctor sadly shakes his head. He says, "Mr. Hayes, I'm sorry. We did everything we could." Your knees give out. You start to fall, but Frank catches you. Tears well up in your eyes again. The doctor says they don't have much time left. Say your goodbyes. A moment later, Grandma is taken back to her room. You place Grandma's threadbare hand on your face and hold it tightly. Your voice breaks. You say, "Grandma." The old woman lies completely pale on the bed. Hearing your voice, she slowly opens her eyes. As she sees your tear-stained eyes, a loving smile appears on her face. As always, she gently caresses your face. Grandma says, "Ethan, why are you crying? Did someone hurt you?" "Ethan, tell Grandma, I'll be there for you." You cry and say, "Grandma, please don't leave me." Grandma's eyes also become wet. Weakly, she raises her hand and gently strokes your head, saying, "Ethan, Grandma can't live with you anymore." You say, "No, Grandma, please, please don't go. I have no one but you." Frank's eyes fill with tears as he hears your cries from inside the room. But Chloe's expression remains unchanged, her eyes remain fixed on you, standing beside the bed. Then she orders, "Send this hair sample in for testing." Her cold voice echoes in the silent hallway. Frank freezes for a moment, but quickly composes himself. He says, "Yes, ma'am." Frank takes your hair sample and leaves. Chloe looks at you through the window and whispers softly, "Could it be you?" Inside, you sit holding Grandma's hand tightly, as if afraid she'll leave you the next second. Grandma stares at you without blinking. "I'm sorry I won't get to see my Ethan get married," she says. "Where is Vanessa? Isn't she with you?" You look away as Grandma mentions Vanessa's name. Grandma doesn't say anything, but perhaps she understands everything. She takes a look and says, "Ethan, if you're not happy with him, let him go. Grandma just wants you to be happy." You cry and say, "Grandma, I'll never be happy without you." Grandma asks, "Ethan, what will you do when I'm gone?" Grandma's voice slowly breaks. You soften and embrace her. After a while, Grandma first composes herself. She gently wipes your tears. Grandma says, Ethan, I don't have much time left. I need to tell you something. You say, tell me, Grandma, I'm listening. Grandma says, after I'm gone, you have to take good care of yourself. Eat well, live a good life, and find someone who truly loves you. Then Grandma will be able to go peacefully. You nod through your tears. You say, I promise I'll live a good life. Grandma says, there's a small box under my bed. Inside it are all my savings. You can take it. You always knew Grandma had a treasured box, but you never knew what was inside. Grandma says, Ethan, if there's one thing I don't regret in my entire life, it's meeting you on the side of the road. You made me so happy. You say, Grandma, thank you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be alive today. Grandma lovingly caresses your face. Her cloudy eyes glance at you again and again. Then slowly, her eyes close. Her hand, caressing your face, slowly drops. You freeze for a moment. You stare at Grandma's closed eyes. You're so broken that you can't utter a single word. Tears blur everything before your vision. You gently lean your head closer to Grandma's. Your voice softens involuntarily. You say, Grandma, I'll live a good life. You can go peacefully. Frank hurries to you from outside the room. He's about to say something when Chloe stops him. Frank looks inside and immediately understands. He falls silent and stands quietly to the side. Chloe watches you through the window. A faint twinkle crosses her usefully dark eyes. You stay inside the room for a while longer. When you emerge, you're surprised to see Chloe and Frank still standing there. You say, Miss, are you still here? I'll refund you soon about the surgery bill. Chloe asks, do you need any help? You look at Chloe slowly. After a long moment of silence, you ask again, can you lend me some more money? I want to give Grandma a proper funeral. Without hesitation, Chloe takes out a business card and hands it to you. She says, I'll be in Brookhaven for the next few days. Call me if you need anything. You take the card and look at the name on it. Chloe Sterling, her name sounds perfect, just like her personality. You say, thank you, Mr. Sterling. I'll refund your money. Chloe doesn't refuse. She just nods quietly. You spend the next few days arranging Grandma's funeral. Grandma doesn't have any family in the city, so you decide to have her cremated. You plan to find a beautiful and peaceful place for her to rest forever. You take Grandma's ashes from the crematorium worker. Your face is sad and exhausted. Your fingers touch the urn and you whisper softly, Grandma, I'll take you home. You hail a cab and, carrying Grandma's ashes, head to Parker's apartment. But as you reach the apartment door, you see Vanessa standing there. Today, Vanessa isn't in her usual simple clothes. She's wearing designer labels and looks like a paper-clad rich girl. Vanessa watches you get out of the cab from the door. As she approaches you, her eyes fall on the urn you're holding. It has a portrait of Grandma on it. Vanessa stands there stunned. After a long moment, the words come out of her mouth. Vanessa says, Ethan, Grandma. But you don't even look at her. You walk right past her and into the apartment. Vanessa, as soon as she recovers from her shock, runs inside after you, her face is pale with panic and fear. She says, Ethan, is that why I couldn't contact you? Grandma, why are you so silent? You unlock the door and go inside with the urn. Vanessa hesitates for a second, then follows you in. She looks at you awkwardly as you carefully place Grandma's urn on the table. You turn and look at Vanessa. Your face is expressionless. Your voice is cold and distant. You say, Vanessa, Miss Bennett, what do you want? Hearing you call her Miss Bennett, Vanessa feels a sharp pain in her chest. She tries to grab your hand in panic, but you immediately pull your hand back. Your eyes are icy. You say, Vanessa, don't make me hate you. Vanessa's face becomes heartbroken, as if you've done something unforgivable to her. You say, Vanessa, don't act like a victim. Was I always the one who was hurt? Vanessa composes herself. She wanted to apologize sweetly, like before. But seeing your cold stare, she stops. Vanessa says, Ethan, I'm sorry. I can understand how devastated you must be to hear about Grandma. I'm sorry that I wasn't there when you needed me most. But your expression doesn't soften at all. You look at her and then give her a mocking smile. You say, Vanessa, you disgust me. This was the first time you had spoken so harshly to Vanessa. She stands stunned for a long time. But you didn't want to waste your words with Vanessa. Seeing her brings back all the memories of that painful night. Vanessa wasn't the cause of Grandma's death. but you can't forget what she did. You say, Vanessa, get out of here. I never want to see you again. Vanessa snaps back to reality. Desperately, she grabs your wrist and pleads, Ethan, I know I made a mistake. Please forgive me this time. I know Grandma's death has broken you. I'll be with you. You say, Vanessa, do you know why I insisted on you returning my money that night? Vanessa is confused by the sudden change of topic. Her eyes are still blank. You remove her fingers from your hand, one by one, just as you did that night. You say, because you spent Grandma's life savings. If Grandma's surgery had been done a little sooner, maybe she would still be alive. Your words explode like a bomb in Vanessa's heart. She stares at you, her eyes wide in shock. After a while, she asks through tears, Ethan, you're lying to me, aren't you? You look at Vanessa. She still can't accept this truth. You coldly shake your head and present her with another truth. You say, Vanessa, the night I left the bar, you went to a hotel with another man. Right. Vanessa's face drains of all color. She looks away, feeling guilty. Vanessa didn't know that you had received a photo the day Grandma died. In that photo, Vanessa was sleeping in a man's arms, and the red marks on the man's neck were clearly visible. But by then, you had completely removed Vanessa from your life. You felt nothing when you saw that photo. When you first entered into a relationship with Vanessa, you clearly told her that you would not tolerate betrayal or lies. If Vanessa broke either of these promises, you would end the relationship without hesitation and never look back. Now, Vanessa hadn't just broken one promise, she had broken both. You weren't going to look back, and what had happened with Grandma stood between you. Vanessa understood that getting you back was almost impossible. But she still wasn't ready to give up. Vanessa says, Ethan, I really can't live without you. Please forgive me this time. Grandma is gone, but you still have me. I will treat you well. I promise I will treat you well. Vanessa moves closer to you. She extends her arms for a hug, but you neatly dodge her. You turn to run away, but Vanessa grabs your wrist. She holds you tightly, refusing to let go. She even tries to kiss you, but you've only had hope left in you for her. You say, Vanessa, don't you dare. Vanessa freezes for a moment. Then a glint of madness flashes in her eyes. I really love you, Ethan. If you stay with me, you won't leave me, will you? Hearing her words frightens you. Desperately, you try to free yourself. But Vanessa is surprisingly strong. She's about to tackle you when a figure suddenly comes in through the door. She pulls Vanessa away from you, and before Vanessa can react, she slaps her hard. The slap cuts Vanessa's lip. You look at Chloe in surprise. You say, Mr. Tulling. Chloe puts a hand on Vanessa's scream. Her face goes completely cold, and the atmosphere around her turns icy. Chloe says, get out. Vanessa looks at Chloe, then at you. You both clearly knew each other well. In a moment of anger, Vanessa speaks without thinking. Ethan Hayes, so that's why you wanted to break up with me so quickly. You already found someone else. What? Is she richer than me? You freeze for a few seconds. Then you step towards Vanessa and slap her hard. You say, Vanessa, get out of here right now. Vanessa looks at Chloe, then at you. She's clearly not ready to give up. But eventually, she leaves. After Vanessa leaves, Chloe extends her handkerchief toward you. Her clear voice is devoid of any emotion. Chloe asks, why do I always see you crying when I see you? You don't take the handkerchief. You roughly wipe your tears with your sleeve. You say, not now, I won't cry again. Chloe looks at you for a while but says nothing. She simply puts the handkerchief back. You compose yourself and look at Chloe. You ask, Miss Tilling, are you here for some work? Chloe says nothing and looks towards the door. Just then, Frank comes in with a document. Chloe takes it and hands it directly to you. You open it. It's a paternity test. The test results show a 99.99% chance of blood relationship. You look at Chloe with a blank expression. You say, so you mean I'm your long-lost brother? Chloe is surprised for a moment. Then a beautiful smile forms on her lips. Chloe says, strictly speaking, you're my childhood friend's long-lost brother. Our families have been close for generations. You look at the papers and ask, but how did you know I'm his biological brother? Chloe says, you look exactly like Robert Hayes when he was young. You stare at the papers in your hand. A lot was happening for you all at once. You had finally found out about your birth parents. Seeing your expression, Chloe says in a soft voice, I'm sorry. As soon as the test results came back, I told your family. They should be on their way to meet you right now. They'll be there tomorrow. I'm sorry. they'll be there tomorrow. I'm sorry. I did everything without asking you. You gently shake your head. You say, you didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to say sorry. Chloe asks, do you want to meet them? After a moment of silence, you shake your head quietly. You say, I don't know, Grandma just died. My mind is completely messed up. Chloe says, it's okay. I understand how difficult it is to accept so much all at once. Take your time. They won't be here before tomorrow. You say, can I think about it tonight? Chloe says, of course, the choice is yours. Then she says, then I won't bother you anymore. I'll leave. Chloe is about to get in the car when you speak again. You say, thank you, Miss Tilling. Chloe looks back at you and nods. Then she leaves Grandma's small house. You close the door, pick up Grandma's urn, and walk to the bed. You place the urn on the bed and lower your gaze. A while later, you pull out a red cookie tin from under the bed. Inside it's nothing. Just a little old cash, some photos, a red pouch, and an envelope. Your fingers gently touch Grandma's face in the photos. Then you open the letter Grandma dictated before her death. In the letter, Grandma wrote that she knew she wouldn't be with you much longer. She wanted the contents of the red pouch to help you find your birth parents after her death. She also explained how she found you all those years ago. Everything you had was kept safe in this tin. After reading the letter, you open the red pouch. Inside it is an ornate longevity lock. The name Ethan is engraved on it. Coincidentally, Grandma had the same family name. That's why she named you Ethan. Thinking about Grandma, who found you and raised you despite all these years of hardship, tears well up in your eyes again. You clutch Grandma's urn tightly and cry all night. The next day, you make a decision. Grandma wanted you to find and reunite with your birth parents. So, you decide to fulfill her wish and meet them. But if they reject you even slightly, you won't force yourself to go home with them. Around noon, just as you're about to leave, there's a knock on the door. You open the door and there are some people standing outside. One of them is a middle-aged man. Aged couples feel especially familiar to you. As soon as Robert sees your face, which looks so much like his when he was young, he can't control his tears. He reaches out and pulls you into his arms. Robert cries, my son, my boy, Dad finally found you. Your body stiffens for a moment. You instinctively resist the touch of a stranger. But Robert and Helen's cries touch yours. Your hands, raised to push the door for Robert, stop. Finally, you hesitantly raise your hand and place it on Robert's back. You say, please, don't cry. Robert finally wipes his tears and composes himself. He says, well, don't cry. Look, you're scaring our precious son. Helen quickly wipes hers too. She says, right, we can't scare our precious son. I'm just so happy. Then you invite them in. You go into the small kitchen and start boiling water. Seeing the conditions you've lived in for so many years, Helen's eyes fill with tears again. Your brother Nathan and sister Claire have come with them. When you bring the tea, Nathan immediately rushes over to help you. None of them look down on you after seeing your rundown house. There was only pain in their eyes for you. You say, sorry, the house is small. Seeing Helen talking to you with such a polite distance, her eyes fill with tears again. She says, it's not your fault, Ethan, Mom couldn't take care of you. That's why you had to endure so much hardship. Seeing Helen cry again, a wave of sadness fills your heart. You lift your heart and gently pat her on the back. You say, Mom, don't cry. Hearing the word Mom, Helen immediately forgets her crying. She looks at you with delighted surprise. Robert immediately comes to your side and points to you. Robert says, and I'm Ethan. You look into Robert's hopeful eyes. Finally, you can't break his heart. You shyly say, Dad, oh. Robert, a grown man, immediately becomes emotional. He turns his face away and touches the corner of his eye. Nathan gives you a warm, gentle smile. Nathan says, Ethan, I'm your brother. Claire also smiles gently. She says, and I'm your sister. You look at your brother and sister, who welcomed you so warmly. A genuine smile appears on your face. Brother, sister, you finally feel comfortable seeing your kind family. After the introductions, Helen holds your hand tightly. She carefully asks you about your life over the past 20 years. You don't hide anything from them. You tell them how Grandma found you and raised you through every hardship. You tell them the good moments of life and hide the bad. You tell the Hayes family only the happy parts, but they understand without even telling you. For so many years, it was just you and Grandma. Life must never have been easy for you too. Robert says, we're so grateful to that woman. Thinking of Grandma makes your heart pound again. Helen pats your back. She says, "Don't be sad. We'll find the best resting place for Grandma." You ask, "Really?" Helen says, "Yes, really." Then she asks, "After Grandma is laid to rest, will you go to Westbridge and home with Mom, Dad, Nathan, and Claire?" You had already decided to go with your birth parents. There was nothing to stop you now. You nod gently. You say, "Okay, I'll come home with you." The moment you agree to go with them, the Hayes family is overjoyed. Nathan immediately takes out his phone and starts making arrangements. Helen and Claire help you pack your belongings. While you're packing, your phone keeps ringing. You glance at it and quietly put it on silent. You've decided that before you leave, you'll also throw away your current phone number. This will be your final goodbye to your old life and everyone here. An hour later, you take Grandma's ashes and your belongings and board a Maybach to the airport. When the car arrives at the airport, you remove your old phone, along with the SIM card, and throw it in the airport trash can. After throwing it away, you leave with Grandma's ashes and board a flight to Westbridge. This is the first flight of your life. So you're feeling a little awkward. Claire notices immediately. She comes over and sits next to you. Claire says, "Ethan, is all this a little overwhelming for you?" You nod. You say, "A little." Then you ask, "Am I embarrassing you?" Claire smiles gently and takes your hand. She says, "Not at all. Don't be embarrassed. Our Ethan is wonderful. You're just not used to all this yet. Take your time. You'll get used to it all gradually. It'll be fine. Your big sister will teach you everything." Claire's gentle smile warms your heart. You think to yourself, this is what having a sister feels like. It feels good. A few hours later, the plane lands safely at Westbridge International Airport. You exit the VIP exit with the Hess family. Several luxury cars are already parked outside. A middle-aged man, who looks like a butler, smiles at Robert and the others as soon as he sees them. He says, "Sir, ma'am, young master, miss, please get in the car." Robert nods and gets in with his wife and children. The luxury car is so spacious that even Chloe can comfortably fit in with the entire family. There are plenty of cars there, but no one wanted to be separated from you. That's why everyone fits into one car. After meeting the Hess family in the morning, you hadn't had a chance to talk to Chloe much. Now that Chloe is sitting in front of you, you look at her and smile. You say, "Thank you, Miss Darling." Your thank you is very meaningful to Chloe. Chloe looks at you. Her face is still cool and elegant, but you see a slight warmth in her eyes. Chloe says, "Don't mention it. I just did what was right." Your heart beats twice as fast. Embarrassed, you lower your head and don't dare look at Chloe again. Helen notices all this. She looks at Robert, and they exchange a knowing smile. Now their gaze is on you and Chloe become even warmer. After driving for a while, the area outside gradually becomes remote. Woods give way to busy streets. You look around in confusion. Claire smiles and, gently ruffling your hair, says, "The mountain beyond here belongs to the Sterlings. Both the Hayes and Sterling estates are on this mountain." Your mouth drops open in surprise. You knew the Sterlings and Hayes were wealthy families, but they owned the entire mountain. This seemed a bit much. The car continues climbing the mountain for about half an hour. Then, in the distance, you see a huge iron gate. Every tree inside the gate is perfectly trimmed. The car drives deeper into the estate. Finally, you see two grand Chinese-style estates. You get out of the car, but you're still completely dazed. Helen gently takes your hand and, smiling, says, "Ethan, this is your home. The one on the left is Sterling Manor, and the one on the right is Hayes Manor." Suddenly, several people come running out of Sterling Manor. In front is an energetic old man. Henry Sterling, dressed in white traditional clothes, hurries towards you. Behind them is a middle-aged couple and several servants. Someone's voice says, "Dad, slow down. Don't run so fast." Henry says, "Hurry up. If you're even a little late, I'll miss my grandson-in-law." You look at him in confusion. You wonder, who's your grandson? Then your eyes fall on Nathan. But before you can understand, Henry comes running straight to you. He looks you from head to toe. Henry says, "We're not bad, not bad. My grandson-in-law is very handsome." You say, "Hi, Grandpa." You think, since he's the elder, it wouldn't hurt to greet him first. But as soon as you call him Grandpa, Henry's eyes light up with excitement. He immediately turns to everyone and proudly announces, "Did you guys hear that? My grandson-in-law called me Grandpa." The Sterling couple finally arrive and, hearing Henry's words, helplessly shake their heads. You're still completely lost. The only question on your mind is, what's going on here? Did I also have an arranged engagement as a child? Henry was about to say something when Chloe interrupted him. Chloe said, Grandpa Ethan just came back. Don't scare him. Henry looked at his granddaughter, then at Ethan. He said, okay, I agree. Chloe then looked at Robert and Helen and said, I'll take Grandpa and my parents home right now. Chloe grabbed Henry's mango and led him away with her parents. Poor David and Laura couldn't say a word to their son-in-law. Before her daughter could take them away, Helen took your hand and started leading you towards Hedge Manor. A large number of people stood in 2 lines on either side of the entrance. As you approached, everyone chanted in unison, Welcome home, second young master. You were momentarily shocked by such a grand welcome. As you recover, your heart fills with joy. Only then do you feel like you're truly back home. Robert and Helen lead you inside, holding your hands from either side. Nathan and Claire follow them. As soon as you're inside, Helen excitedly leads you to your new bedroom. Robert and Helen's room is on the 2nd floor. The 3 Hayes siblings' the rooms are on the 3rd floor. Helen opens the door to your room. As soon as you see the room, your eyes light up with joy. Helen says, Ethan, I didn't know what your tastes were. So I decorated your room myself. If you don't like anything, let me know. I'll have it changed immediately. You say, Mom, don't change anything. I love it here. It's so much better than where I lived before. Helen's eyes fill with tears again. It seems as if she's been crying continuously since meeting you. Feeling bad for her, you give her a big hug. You say, Mom, don't be sad. I'm back with you now. Helen smiles through her tears and asks her if she'll be happy. She says, yes, my Ethan is right. You're back. You're back with Mom. From now on, Mom will give you double everything. You nod, and they talk for a while longer. Finally, Helen reluctantly leaves the room. After she leaves, you look at the unfamiliar room and decide that you explore your new room a bit. Then you realize that your room is connected to the study next door. Beyond the study is a long, suspended corridor. At the end of the corridor is another room. You gently push the door. The door doesn't lock, so you slowly open it. As soon as the lights turn on, Chloe stands before you. She's in the bathroom, clearly just out of the shower. You both freeze. Then your gaze automatically shifts downward. After a few seconds of surprise, Chloe composes herself. Seeing you stare, a slight smile forms on her lips. Chloe asks, what are you looking at? You immediately say, sorry. I'm so sorry. You slam the door to Chloe's study shut, quickly cross the corridor, and return to your own. You close your own door as well, leaning against it, breathing heavily. But Chloe's. That bathroom scene keeps replaying in your mind. Your cheeks gradually turn redder. The image of Chloe just won't leave your mind. You can't function. You never dreamed that your study would be connected to Chloe's room. You go to take a shower to relieve yourself. Afterward, you lie down on the soft bed. You think you won't be able to sleep all night because of the unfamiliar place. But either you were too exhausted or the bed was so comfortable that you fall asleep as soon as you lie down. In your dream, you see Grandma. She's standing a little ways away, lovingly looking at you. You immediately run to her and hug her tightly. You say, Grandma, I miss you so much. Grandma lovingly caresses your bag and says, Ethan, Grandma, is so happy. Then she says, Ethan listened to Grandma, didn't he? My Ethan has always been there. It's been a good boy. Seeing you reunited with your family, Grandma can finally go peacefully. Your eyes turn red, but you hold back your tears. You say, don't worry, Grandma. Mom and Dad treat me so well. I'll have a wonderful life with them. Grandma's smile is as warm as ever. She lovingly ruffles your hair. Grandma says, good boy, now I can go peacefully. Hearing Grandma say she has to go, you hug her even tighter. After a long moment, you finally let go. You give Grandma a bright smile. You say, Grandma, rest in peace. Be happy in your next life. Grandma nods. Then her figure slowly turns into tiny points of light. Those lights disappear right before your eyes. You reach out to stop them, but nothing comes to your hand. A tear escapes from the corner of your eye. Yes. You wake up from your dream and softly call Grandma's name. Very early the next morning, a servant approaches the kitchen door and you hear the sound of dishes coming from inside. The other servants look at each other and quickly go inside, wondering what's going on. Inside is the same second young master who arrived home just yesterday, wearing an apron and making breakfast himself. Hearing the servants' voices, you turn back and smile at them, saying, "Good morning." The servants freeze. Then, quickly composing themselves, they take the spatula from your hand. One servant asks, "Young master, why are you up so early?" The other says, "Yes, exactly. We'll handle it." If Mr. and Mrs. has find out, you say, "It's fine. I'll talk to mom and dad. I woke up early, so I made breakfast." The servants look at each other uneasy, unsure of what to say. One servant says, "Young master, what will we do if you start doing our jobs?" You pause for a moment, then give an apologetic smile. You say, "Sorry, I just wanted to do it myself and make breakfast for mom and dad. This is the last time. From now on, you guys will do it." A little while later, when the family comes downstairs, watching you serve breakfast, they stand there completely stunned. You just give them a bright smile. You say, "Dad, Mom, Nathan, Claire, I made breakfast. Let's eat." The four Hayes immediately recover from their shock and walk over to the table. There's every kind of breakfast on the table, Chinese and Western. Claire blinks twice and looks at you. Claire says, "Ethan, did you make all this?" You nod. You say, "I got up early, so I made some breakfast. Let's try it and see if we like it." You already know that whether they like breakfast or not, the Hay family is going to finish every bite you make. Helen grabs your hand, the emotion for you clearly visible in her eyes. "Sweetheart, did you get up so early to make breakfast?" You say, "I couldn't sleep, so I got up and made breakfast." The servants didn't know, but now Mom knows. From now on, you guys handle it. You can get up a little late. Helen says, "Okay, let's try our son's cooking before the food gets cold." As the four Hays taste the food, their faces light up with surprise and happiness. Everyone says, "It's delicious. Our Ethan really can cook. It's as good as our shave. It's really delicious. Did you learn to cook before?" You say, "During my high school summers, I worked at a breakfast place. The food was amazing. There would be a long line every day before sunrise." You say all this in a completely normal voice, without trying to make anyone feel bad about yourself. But for the Hayes family, this had a completely different meaning. Nathan and Claire start thinking about their high school summers. They used to travel to or from the US. "We used to hang out with friends, eat out, and go shopping." Nathan and Claire suddenly feel ashamed when compared to your life. But Robert and Helen feel even worse. They hadn't fulfilled their responsibilities and lost their young son. That's why you had to endure so much hardship. Robert and Nathan were truly father and son. They both simultaneously take out black cards from their pockets and place them in your hands. Robert says, "Son, keep this. Buy whatever you want and spend freely." Nathan also says, "Brother, take this, buy whatever you want and spend freely." You stare blankly at the two black cards in your hand. For a long time, you can't process what's happening. Claire understands the situation after a while. She tries to pick up a card, but you immediately stop her. You say, "Claire, don't draw any." You extend both cards back to Robert and Nathan. You say, "Dad, Nathan, both of you take these back. I don't need them." Helen understands what her husband and son are thinking. She picks up both cards and places them back in front of you. Helen says, "Ethan, your dad and brother just want to make amends for what happened to you. You should just accept them." You look at Helen, then at Robert and Nathan, who still look hurt. Finally, you accept both cards. You weren't a big spender anyway. There were only 2 cards, so you thought you'd keep them. Just then, some people come in through the front door. They're Henry and the Sterlings. Henry says, "Grandson-in-law, Grandpa, is here to see you." The Hayes family stands to welcome them. Henry looks at the abundance of food on the table in confusion. Henry asks Robert, "Robert, have you hired a new breakfast chef?" Robert looks at you proudly. He says, "No, Ethan got up early in the morning and he made all this. Come on, Henry, you try it too. Come on, Henry, you try it too." As soon as Henry realizes that his grandson-in-law has made breakfast, he immediately sits at the table. He picks up chopsticks and starts eating the food. Seeing this, you immediately speak up. You say, "Grandpa Sterling, wait." Henry's chopsticks stop midair. You quickly go to the kitchen and bring some lighter dishes. You place them in front of Grandpa. You say, "I heard you might be coming. So I made these lighter dishes for you. Light food will be better for you in the morning." Both families knew that Henry liked strong flavors. He hated bland food. Chloe was about to say something when Henry happily picks up the lighter dishes and starts eating. There's no reluctance on his face at all. Everyone is surprised. Henry continues to smile at you as he eats. My grandson knows how to take care of me, he says. David and Laura look at each other helplessly. David thinks people really are different. Robert smiles and invites the Sterlings to sit. With just one meal, you've won the approval of the entire Sterling family. As you place breakfast in front of Chloe, you remember last night's incident. Your cheeks you immediately turn red. But Chloe acts as if nothing happened. She looks at the breakfast and black coffee in front of her. A soft light shimmers in her deep eyes. Chloe says, "Thank you." You say, "You're welcome." Everyone is looking at you both. They exchange knowing glances. Both families happily chat and laugh during breakfast. You weren't very outgoing anyway, so you quietly listen to everyone on the side. After breakfast, you're about to go upstairs and rest when Chloe comes up to you. Chloe says, "Want to take a walk?" Helen and Laura smile at you both. Helen says, "Go on a walk, it would be nice." Laura says, "Yes, Chloe, take good care of Ethan." Both mothers are pushing you so much that refusing now feels rude. So you get up and leave the living room with Chloe. Helen and Laura watch you two leave. Both smile with relief. Helen says, "It seems the kids don't dislike each other." Laura says, "Yeah, it would be great if they both fell in love." In the yard, you're walking down the gravel path with Chloe. The atmosphere is a little awkward. So Chloe starts the conversation first. Chloe says, "You call me Ethan, or was this the second time Chloe called you Ethan?"